how to interpret compound line and bar graphs and what the examiners are looking for. A compound bar graph here, we've got very simply countries here along the y-axis, and on the x-axis the percentage of people employed in different sectors, primary, secondary and tertiary. A compound just basically means that the bars are stacked and they can be on top or side by side, as in this case. And the key here is to work out what the graph is generally showing and to manipulate some data to show the examiner that you can. Let's take a look at the general picture. Ethiopia here has the greatest percentage of people employed in primary, and we can read it off at about 84%. Its smallest sector is this pink one here, which is secondary, and to show the examiner we can interpret this, we need to give an idea of what percentage work in the secondary industry, and we can see that there are two squares here, and that comes to 4% who work in secondary. And finally the green ones here, we've got 6 bluish bars coloured in, so that comes to about 12%. The greatest number of people employed in tertiary is obviously the UK here, and to read this it's easier to work backwards, so it'd be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 68% work in the tertiary sector. The UK has the smallest primary at 2%, and in order to calculate what this middle slot is, it's very easy. If we knew that 68% worked in tertiary and 2% worked in primary, then the middle bit has to be 30%. This is a compound line graph which shows a variety of different categories of something. In this case we've got countries here, and we're showing information over time, estimated to 2030, of the usage of renewable energy in these many different countries and areas. It's quite a complex graph to analyse under exam conditions, and it's very easy to pick on the one at the bottom, which you can read. So the USA in 1990, 30% was from renewable, estimated down to 20% by 2030. To show the examiner you really know how to read these, take something from the middle here. So China, where they start off quite small, let's say that's about 5%. And if you look at the distance between these 2 points here, estimate using the y-axis, it's increased to about 20%. I read that as about 58, and that one at about 38. So the difference would be 20%. By 2030, China will be using renewable energy, and it's increased from what it did in 1990.